Isolated in the open field, there, the Lord of the underworld saw him. In the sweep of a single glance, he fell in love.
The ground trembled! The earth crumbled!
Every living thing fell silent in anticipation.
Suddenly, the ground split open, and up from a yawning crevice came a dark chariot drawn by 4 black horses.
Calling them by name.
Alistair, Orphnaeus, Athan, Nyctus.
The king of terrors thundered up and snatched the frightened girl.
Terrified, she screamed for her mother.
Mother!
And screamed to her friends.
Help me! But louder and again to her mother. Mother! She screamed for her flowers as she fell. While her abductor leaped with her into his chariot, again shouting to the horses.
Each one by name.
Alistair, Orphnaeus, Athan, Nyctus.
Whipping their necks with the reins at the start of the race. Then they were gone, leaving only Victor. Frozen in an isolated witness, only a young swineherd bore witness to the ordeal.
We too are lost somebody heard.
Too frightened to speak, he disappeared into the woods to hide his knowledge of the occurrence. Demeter, sensing something was amiss, noticed the absence of her child. Persephone!
She ran from here to there, calling for her girl to no avail.
Persephone!
Each step and call more frantic than the last.
Persephone! She is gone, she is lost.
There is no trace of her.
How can this be?
The goddess grieved.
Where is she gone?
As Demeter grieves, all of nature joins in her torment. Flowers wilted, trees shriveled,
And all the fields grew dry and bare. The world turned to ice, reflecting the inner frostiness of Demeter's heart.
Hades
Host of many!
had brought his prize to his kingdom. His new queen was decked with jewels and presents.
But no happiness lived in Persephone.
her heart had turned to stone.
The souls of the dead crawled out from their hiding places to catch a glimpse of their new queen.
Each piling over the other, their groans of death and anguish filled Persephone's ears.
Hades attempted to show his new queen his garden, where willows and poplars existed, but bore no blooms or fruits.
Persephone glided gloomily at the sight of her newest husband and lord.
Homesick and frightened,
Persephone's heart skipped a beat. There, in the twisted branches of a lonely tree, grew one beautiful, ripe pomegranate. In
inviting and full of life. The fruit called to the young girl.
Desperate for familiar comfort, she ripped open the fruit
and ingested a few seeds.
The new queen thought nothing of consuming the seeds.
However, the gardener of Hades stood silently by watching,
Knowing that since Persephone had eaten from the pomegranate, the prophecy
Fixed by the fates,
had been fulfilled.
the food of the dead had been consumed. Unaware of the consequences, Persephone now belonged to her new kingdom.
Up above the earth's crust, Demeter searched high and low and through all the world for any trace of her daughter, and still found nothing.
Through her scouring, Demeter transformed. Old and gray, now reflected the lifeless earth. The goddess returned to the meadow where she had last saw her child in.
Demeter begged the sun to tell her what she had seen that day. Please help me.
Helios could not help, as the day she recalled was cast in shadow, with cloud sealed at his eyes. As fate would have it, the young swineherd was again tending to his flock when he heard Demeter's plea.
What has become of my daughter?
Filling himself with determination, Triptolemus recalled the events of that day.
From out of earth sprang a man filled with his dark chariot. Snatched your beautiful daughter into her streaming beneath the earth's surface.
Finally, Demeter had the answer she so desperately sought. She instantly knew who had taken her beloved child and where her life was being held captive.
Demeter's grief
Turned to anger, and she rushed to Zeus, demanding the return of her child. She threatened that the earth would never again turn green or yield any harvest. All the world would be destined to suffer and starve.
Hades is my equal, only not so lucky in the lottery that gave heaven to me and hell to him. Still, if you're determined to take her from him, you can have her, but on one condition. The sole condition.
Fixed by the fates.
She can return on condition.
Hear me!
on condition
That she never tasted the food of the dead.
Zeus could not let the earth decay, so he sent Hermes, messenger of the gods, to his brother's kingdom to retrieve Persephone.
Hermes delivered the edict from Zeus to Hades.
Who knew even he must obey the command of his brother, as he bid farewell to his queen. A laugh emanated from the lifeless garden of Hades.
The gardener pointed to the lone pomegranate tree in the garden, which bore fruit. Laughing, he produced a fruit from which a few kernels were missing.
3 lonely seeds.
A twisted smile inked across Hades' face as Hermes led his queen back to the earth, for he knew Persephone must return to him.
Upon seeing her daughter,
Demeter's greatness melted and life sprang back into her. Just as Demeter returned to her state of radiance, so the earth bloomed and sprouted life.
Both the mother and daughter wept with joy, hugging and clinging to one another.
Demeter swore to never let Persephone from her arms or sight again.
it was now that Persephone must admit to her mother that she cannot stay.
For she had tasted the food of the dead.
3 lonely seeds.
Hades for Persephone.
It is a story of